Peace, salute. This is Brother Steven X. Just decided to do a broadcast, share some of my thoughts with the boxing world. Um, I've done videos before, but this will be a first video I've done in a very long time. So I just wanted to share some of my thoughts. Um, as you guys may know, I'm on Twitter at Respect Ring News, known as respectringmedia, and I canvass many boxing pages, many boxing channels. So I just decided to do my own broadcast and share some of my thoughts with the boxing world. I hope I can do this more often. But as you see in the title, Devin Haney, The American Dream. And as we know, I am a full disclosure, I am a Devin Haney fan, but I'm more so a fan of the sport of boxing. And those of us that are not quote unquote casuals that follow boxing on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, a daily basis, um, I would hope to think that we love and respect the sport that we consume, that we watch. So that is why when I created my online boxing persona, it had to be respect first. I mean, if things don't start off with respect, I don't know what we're really doing. And Respect Ring Media, which is an entity that I've created, is something that it's more than just an entity. It's a message that I'm trying to project into the world about our sport that we love. And as competitors in the ring, or not all of us are competitors in the ring. Some of us cover boxing. We're fans. I mean, we're trainers. We're strength and conditioning coaches. We're different. Everyone's playing different roles in this sport that we love. And like I said, I'm hoping to make more of these broadcasts just to share some of my thoughts. You can check out my writings at respectringmedia.com. I write articles on a regular basis at that website. Um, and I just decided to project my voice into the world and share some of my thoughts about the boxing community. In respects to Devin Haney, we all know that he has a fight coming up on November 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And as we know, His Excellency Turkey al-Sheikh, what would you call him? An advisor? I'm not sure if you can call him a promoter. I know he works with promoters. But Turkey al-Sheikh has really, since he's come into the game, since the Saudis have come into the game, have really, um, they've really put a mark on the sport. And from my vantage point, and all intents and purposes, it's a good mark. We're seeing competitive fights. We're seeing organic outcomes in these fights. We're not seeing really any setup fights, coming off this weekend of Ring 3 that happened in Queens, New York, where we saw Shakur Stevenson fight a completely different style. I must say I was pleased with the fight. It was an entertaining fight. Never seen Shakur fight that way. Not sure if I want to see him fight like that again. I think he was hit entirely too much, but it was impressive to see the Mayweather-esque, we'll put it that way, shoulder roll and off the ropes. It reminded me of that Marcus Modana fight. I believe it was in 2014, the first one. But coming off of Ring 3, all of them were entertaining fights. Definitely worth a rewatch. And my mind comes to Devin Haney, who was really ringside. All the elite boxers that we know and love were ringside. And as I said at the beginning, I'm a Devin Haney fan. So seeing Devin at the fight, he's a student of the game. And I can't help but think what he was thinking when he saw Shakur in there. since they came up in the amateurs. And I remember before the fight, well, I saw the clip after the fight, but someone had asked him, who's got it, Shakur or Zepeda? He's like, Shakur. We've seen guys like Zepeda in the amateurs before. So that was something, and he just said it so confidently, like, Shakur's got this. These guys are really, a lot of these guys, they came up in the amateurs together. So even if you don't go as far as saying they're friends, you can at least say they're rivals, but that are friendly. Everyone in the amateurs, like, your parents are taking you around to tournaments, and yeah, you're competitors, but I'm sure some of you become friends too. So when sometimes you see all the drama going on in the boxing world, and I think that's just the entertainment side of it. At the end of the day, these guys respect each other as competitors, So for Devin to say that, and then also seeing Shakur on a show saying that he believes Devin Haney's going to win in November against Brian Norman if he fights the way that he fought against Jose Ramirez. And funny enough, Devin was criticized for that fight. And I would implore anyone that hears my voice to just rewatch the fight a couple times. You'll grow to appreciate how Devin actually becomes more relaxed during the fight. He loosens up a bit more. Yeah, the first round he was getting his feet wet. He'd been out the ring for over a year. But as the fight progresses, he starts letting his hands go, and he has that bounce in his step, and it was really something to see. And I think with Devin Haney, he's only going to get better after that Ryan Garcia cheating scandal and the illegal damage that he took, the illegal PD damage that he took in that fight. I think with each fight and each training camp, and as long as he continues, and I have no doubt about this, he continues to live the fighter's lifestyle, continues with his personal life, working on his life, working on his craft. I think with every fight, Devin's going to get better. And I'm very excited about November 22nd. I think Devin Haney at 147, the American Dream. I've titled this Devin Haney, the American Dream. I think we're going to see a different Devin Haney at a full 147. Yes, 144 is a catch weight, and that's what he fought Jose Ramirez as, and that is a version of a welterweight, but full welterweight at 147. I have been saying this for a while. I think if he turns it up, he can get a KO or a TKO around the 10th round. I really do believe that. And even if he doesn't, I see Devin Haney outboxing this man every round. Every round. Devin's been under the lights. This will be Brian Norman's first under the lights moment with such a competitor. Devin's been in the ring with Loma. Went to Australia twice, once to get the undisputed, youngest undisputed in the 4-belt era, and then defended it, and then defended against Kambosos. So the second time he fought Kambosos, and then he goes ahead and defends it against Loma, and then moves up to 140 and 12 O's Regis Prograis, who everyone said had power. So let's not pretend that Devin Haney hasn't been in the ring with someone with power. He was in the ring with Prograis, Linares, guys that could punch hard. Even Loma had picked it up in those later rounds and had tested Devin, tested his IQ, tested his chin. And Devin weathered that storm and beat Loma handedly. I mean, it was unanimous decision. Of course, you hear Devin's haters. They say, "Oh, Loma won." This is the hatred for Devin Haney. Really is a novel in a book that has to be written on its own. and I might be the one to write it, to be honest with you. Um, it's really something to see. Um, this man and his father are hated on so much by people that I believe do not respect the sport. They do not respect the sport of boxing, because how could you not like Devin Haney? How can you not like the route him and his father have taken with DHP, Devin Haney Promotions, independent, going from different platforms to different platforms to make deals and put on the best fights that you possibly can, with the right money, of course. What other boxer is moving like this? Isn't America a capitalist nation? That's not an endorsement of capitalism, but I thought this was a capitalistic country. I thought anyone can go out there and create an LLC and create their own destiny. Isn't that what America is about? Entrepreneurship, achieving the American dream, making money. America's a nation of moneymakers. People come to this country to make money. People from other parts of the world come here to make money. People born and raised here think in terms of dollars. They think in terms of cents. And I just think a lot of the hate and envy towards Devin Haney is just that. It's hate and envy. He's taken the independent route in the boxing game under his father's tutelage and business acumen. And he's making something of himself. He's getting belts. He's fighting for a belt, a WBO 147 belt this November. He's back on his belt quest. He's back on his belt-ish. How can you be angry at that? He's going after the belts. Isn't that what a boxer is supposed to do? Aren't they supposed to go after belts? If you're a boxer, your goal ought to be becoming undisputed. What else would your goal be? Right? And then we hear other fighters say, oh, we're in it for the money. That's it. I'm out of this game. When you disrespect the sport of boxing, the boxing gods will humble you. I think that's what we've learned with this Lamont Roach and Tank draw, quote unquote, draw that happened. And the knee and towel break. That's the boxing gods humbling a fighter that does not respect the sport, who's not in it for the glory and finds ways and tries to cheat corners in the easy way to achieve what? A paycheck? And then the paycheck's not good enough, and then you want another paycheck, but you're not getting any, there's no desire to be a champion. There's no desire to unify belts. There's no desire to become undisputed. What is your purpose in the boxing game as a boxer if you don't want to be undisputed? Please tell me that. How is this allowed to be permitted? As fans, how do we allow this? And I think that's why I decided that I need to share my voice more. I need to, I write, I'm a writer, but I also speak. I'm speaking now, and I'm going to speak on just anything, nothing, no fancy stuff, no frills. I'm just going to get on the mic when I have thoughts to share. Whenever I have, I feel overwhelmed with something, I'm going to just share, and hopefully somebody listens. Hopefully you hopefully you share the video, and we start, hopefully we can start a dialogue and communication with each other around this boxing game and how to improve it as fans. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm not a boxer. I mean, I work out, but I'm not a boxer. Maybe one day I'll get in the ring on an amateur level, but I'm just enjoying it as a writer and as a fan, and I'm concerned for our sport, and I love our sport. And no matter what happens November 22nd, I'm always going to be rooting for Devin. I think him and his father are the personification of the American dream. And I think that's where the hatred and the envy comes from all quarters. And it's really something to be studied. And I'm going to expand on this further. Devin Haney, the American dream. And his name is The Dream. But I put a little twist on it and say the American dream. You see how that works? In his name is his destiny. A good name is better than gold, as the good book says. Anyways, I think that's what I'm going to share for now. I'll be back with extra thoughts. Please put comments. Write your comments, any questions, anything you want to say. Like, subscribe, and until next time, let's just stay true to the sport that we love. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to expand on this whole notion, and I'm not only going to talk about Devin Haney, but Devin Haney, the American dream. What is this concept all about? That needs to be explored more. But thank you for listening, and please have a blessed day. Thank you. Peace.